Hi everybody, I'm Jack, and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. It's a nice sunny day here in South Alabama, and I'm about to go to the gym here in just a few minutes. And I thought before I went to the gym I would do a video. I'm trying to stay off the computer a little bit today because I started getting that little warning signal in the back of my neck when I'm sitting in a position for too long, and I just start feeling that little prick, that little like almost like a little knife getting ready to go in there. But if I catch it and stop soon enough, I'm all good. So I'm making videos and doing things that don't involve me sitting and looking down at the computer so much, just for a day, day and a half. So anyhow, I wanted to talk today about how to get started on the raw vegan lifestyle. I do videos every day, so if you're not already subscribed to my channel, I'd appreciate if you'd hit that subscribe button now, and then click on the little bell and check send notifications so you will stay subscribed to the channel. Yeah, just a really pretty day here today. We've kind of had some dreary days recently, which I'm not complaining about either. It's kept the temperatures down a little bit, but let's get into this. And before I get started, the very first thing I want to tell anybody coming to this lifestyle, getting started, about to get started on this, is just to chill out a little bit. Do the best you can without putting too much pressure on yourself or constantly feeling guilt about not doing it right. You know, depending on where you're coming from, and we've all come from there, we ate a lot, we have a lot of things in our makeup. We've become conditioned to eating a certain way. We've become conditioned to thinking we should eat a certain way. Our bodies have become just that's why people have cravings, because it's just the things we've put in our body. Our taste buds have been corrupted, our senses have been corrupted. So it takes a little bit of time to figure this out. I think that's the biggest problem most people have in the beginning. They just want to be perfect. They're so trying to be perfect, and any little imperfection or any little thing that they hear that they shouldn't be doing, it frustrates them and they worry so much about it. Just enjoy this lifestyle. It's a great lifestyle. First thing I would say do, and like I say, is as you would probably expect if you've watched any of my videos, this is going to be just basic stuff, hacks, getting straight to the point, not a lot of little convoluted like, okay, well, if you do this program and if you do this on day one and if you have this recipe, no, just, simple things to do. And the first one would be like, get the bad stuff, the junk, out of your house. Simple as that. Out of sight, out of mind. Get the bad stuff out of the way. And also another thing too that people always chime in, you got to figure out your living situations, what works with you. It's almost like people want to go raw vegan and then they just shoot down everything you give them, like, well, but I live with people and I can't. Okay, maybe you do live with people, and there's going to be other people in your house or household that have stuff in the house. Okay, well then you have to adjust on that one, and you just have to maybe compartmentalize your head, which I've done a few times, and just say, that's not my food. Almost think of it as like you're stealing something. Think of it as like you're taking something that somebody else wants. This is not your food anymore, so just mentally block that off. Now, it was a little bit easier for me when I started this lifestyle, because I won't say I was isolated. It wasn't like when I was living on the mountain, but if I didn't keep bad stuff around my house, in the evening when that time usually comes where the cravings set in or you feel like eating something you probably shouldn't, it was a real pain in the ass for me. It would have been a major deal for me to be like, okay, let me get some clothes on. I either have to walk a good distance or get a taxi. So boom, that just helped me a lot right there. So get the bad stuff out of your sight, out of the house, whatever. What we focus on makes a big difference. I know it's a little psychological thing, but don't focus on what you're leaving out so much at first. Don't think about, oh, wow, I'm not eating this anymore. I'm never going to eat that again. I want you to focus on just what you are eating. And don't think so much about getting rid of this as like in the beginning. Part of it is getting rid of the stuff out of the house as much as possible. But then just kind of chill and eat as much whole raw food as possible. I kind of feel like in some ways you can almost bum rush this lifestyle and you can crowd the bad stuff out. If you just start in the morning, this is one of my simplest hacks yet. It's so simple, it probably sounds ridiculous. If you would just start in the morning eating raw food, raw vegan food, fruit, lots of fruit, smoothies, ice cream, you can almost just push everything out for the rest of the day, because if you start off eating a good sized breakfast that'll keep you going, and then just start learning, like when you start getting hungry again, so you eat fruit, you get ahead of it. Or maybe you eat a big bowl of ice cream for breakfast, or you have a big bowl of fruit for breakfast, like 10 o'clock, you're all ready. You have that green smoothie, and you just kind of keep on a roll, and you stay full, and your stomach and your mind don't even think about asking you for the cooked food. Here's a big one right here. More in the beginning, don't focus as much on the raw thing. Okay, yes, this is a video about how to get started on the raw vegan lifestyle, but I would say the first stage of it all is like getting to a plant-based lifestyle, getting to a plant-based lifestyle 1, getting to a clean version of the plant-based lifestyle 2, and then focus on how much or how little of the cooked food you're going to eat in there. But I would say drop the animal products as soon as possible, and I do recommend a reasonable, at your pace transition, but be quite honest, if you're eating enough food, you can get off the animal products pretty quick. The transition from SAD to plant-based, in my opinion, isn't that hard. The raw, yeah, that gets a little bit trickier, but and one thing that'll make it easier when you're starting out on this lifestyle, instead of just like being so strict with yourself and like, I've got to be all raw from the very beginning, or super high raw from the very beginning, just focus on your cooked food being good whole food, good wholesome food, good clean food, like the sweet potatoes, white potatoes, quinoa, rice. And if you would do that, you could almost, like, I swear I'd love to have people to experiment with. I think you could almost take somebody, if they were eating properly and filling themselves up and getting enough food in themselves, you could almost take somebody raw till 4 almost immediately. Giving them plenty of fruit, plenty of smoothies during the day. Throw in some banana and ice cream. They're getting in lots of greens during the day. And then at night, make them a big old dinner. Make them a dinner, have as many sweet potatoes as you want. Have some quinoa and black beans, because you're still focusing on just getting to a clean version of a plant-based lifestyle. It's step by step by step. This is like, I would think you're trying to go for long-term success here. This is a marathon, not a sprint. So it's more about locking in this lifestyle moving forward than what most people are going to end up doing when they try to be all gung-ho and I'm going to go fully raw overnight, blah, 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 or I'm going to do this or that, or they have unrealistic expectations of themselves, is they yo-yo back and forth. They get all super clean and do cleanses and this and that and the other after a bad period. And they do that till they can't hold on anymore, and then they go way off the rails, and it's just a backwards and forwards. And I like to see, I think it's better just to make a steady progression. It can be slow, but just steady progression, moving towards the raw. And another one, don't get caught up. Don't get caught up. If you eat that cooked food, eat the cooked food at night, whatever, but don't get caught up in the high fat thing. The whole mentality of, okay, this is all about being raw. It all, no matter what the cost. And I'm staying raw, but I'm scarfing down, I don't know how many calories worth of fat at night with all these, nut-laden dishes, or even just the avocados. I eat my avocados, but I don't eat avocados all day, every day. I don't eat a full avocado every day. So, don't get seduced into the high fat trap, because too many people kind of get into that role on here, and then they're always sitting around wondering, well, why am I not losing weight on the raw vegan lifestyle, or why am I not clearing up this issue, or why are things just not going better on this lifestyle? And a lot of times that is the reason. And then, the other little things that most everybody will tell you, and it's good advice, is you've got to learn to prepare food that you really like. I'm kind of gotten inspired again the last couple of days. I can get a little bored myself at times when I'm just cruising and eating the same old things, salads, blah, blah, blah. So I made those avocado zoodles yesterday. I've got some, I don't know how the order of these videos coming out. I've got some mushrooms marinating and some stuff, and they're sitting in the windowsill right now, and I'm going to make like a spaghetti sauce tonight and put them over zoodles. So it's very important to find food that you like. Get those. Listen, if you've got, I'm telling you, I've said this over and over and over again. If you've got 4 or 5 or 6, I mean, to me, 4 or 5 would suffice. But if you've got like 6 or 7, 8 even, like good raw vegan, low fat raw vegan recipes that you really like, I mean, really, really like, this is just super easy to do. I was talking with a friend the other night, and we got talking about food and recipe and cooked and the meat and raw and whatever, and I said, look, some of these recipes are just so good, it doesn't really matter that they're vegan, it doesn't really matter that they're raw, they just taste good. And tasting good is what almost any human is looking for in their food. Now, if it's just a bonus if we can eat something that's really good for us and it tastes good as well. So, get those recipes down, learn a few tricks in the kitchen, but you don't have to get way out there either. You don't have to buy every other cookbook, not cookbook, but recipe book, and you don't have to have like 100 recipes to make this thing work. It's very simple, but it's about progression. It's about progression, and it's about working your way there. It's about moving through the steps and enjoy every stage you're at. Don't be sitting in the stage. You might be eating really clean. I see this all the time, and I'm going to finish with this thought. I see people all the time, and they'll kind of catch my eye, and I've kind of watched them for a while, and they're talking about how they're so frustrated and they're not doing this and they're not doing that, and they feel guilty, they're not doing fully raw. And I look at what they're eating, and I'm like, wow, you're eating really clean, you're being kind of hard on yourself, and you're just getting so tripped up in this fully raw thing. The biggest thing I'm just going to say, no matter how you're eating, what you're eating, enjoy your food. Eat with joy. Don't. Eating is supposed to be a good thing. It's not supposed to be overthought so much, and it's not supposed to be something that produces anxiety in us. So anyhow, just my thoughts, just my 2 cents worth, and just what I hope is a few basic helpful tips on how to get started on the raw vegan lifestyle. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Peace.